1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yes, we are. All right, the September 19th, 2002 meeting of the City Council is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV, Cable Channel 2, and are closed captioned for hearing impaired viewers. Please note some customers of Cox Communications who do not have a cable box may view this meeting on digital channel 89.5. The council meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, which I must tell you is very interesting, I watch it myself occasionally, not all 4 times, may be viewed on the internet at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m., also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card, which you may complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online in the clerk's office or at the rear of these chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under the public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If there's anyone present today who has a need for hearing impaired equipment, please see the city clerk staff. If you parked in the garage across the street and did not receive a validation ticket as you entered the chambers, please exit to your right and then see the security personnel at the entrance. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise for the invocation given this morning by Reverend Bonnie Poley, Christ Episcopal Church, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, who has filled this world with beauty, we thank you for your presence among us this morning. Open our eyes to behold your gracious hand in all your works. Be present with each of these council members seated here today. Guide their minds and hearts as they seek your will. Fill them with the truth, with the love of truth and righteousness. Strengthen them in their trials and temptations. Save them from bitterness and despair. Make them ever mindful of their calling to serve in their offices, to promote the well-being of all people as they address the needs and wants of our famous city. We ask this in your most holy name. Amen.
Good morning again. 1, 2, 3. We're missing 2. One to go. Our athlete is the last one. All right, you're athletic. We know you could just leap from the back up to the front. Well, because he's scratch golfer. What do you want, right? Yeah. It's all right. Well, golfers are athletes. All right, here we go. This is the ceremonial portion of the agenda, and for our first item, we have the pleasure of recognizing the September Employee of the Month. I would like to invite Operations and Maintenance Director Larry Hogness to join us at the podium, please. Big round. And he shops at Costco, too. I shouldn't be advertising, but I do see you everywhere. Our employees strive to be superheroes in the workplace, meeting our values of action. That stands for achievement, creativity, teamwork, integrity, and ownership now. I'm proud to announce that the September Employee of the Month is Street and Sanitation Supervisor Rick Baird. Rick, please come join us up front. And while he's coming, Rick oversees a crew of 25 staff members and covers everything west of Decatur and north of Alta. He is responsible for maintaining several hundred miles of roadway and storm drain infrastructure. Over the last several months, and he doesn't look wet after the storm we just had. Over the last several months, Rick and his crew have completed special projects such as the median island enhancements on Cheyenne and Ann, all of the metallic animals and sculptures that are beautifying our roadways. They're the work of Rick's crews. These median enhancements save the city water and money. As busy as Rick is, he always makes sure that his crew interacts with the citizens in a professional and courteous manner. Rick leads by example in this area. Recently, a call came in from a Sun City resident who was very distraught because her husband had fallen and seriously injured himself. The husband was transported to the hospital, but his eyeglasses had come off and had fallen into a storm drain. The glasses were new and apparently extremely expensive. Rick and a crew member went to the storm drain and recovered the glasses for the couple. Wow. I keep losing things down the sink. I can call on you. Afterwards, the resident called and left 3 voicemails with the city, thanking this wonderful man, Rick, for going out of his way to help her and her husband. Another recent example occurred when a call came in to Mayor Pro Tem Anthony's office that a cable closing off the end of the street at Lone Mountain and Peaceful Dawn was down. Rick headed out to the northwest to check the cable and found a truck parked up against the road closure barriers. The driver in the truck was unresponsive, and Rick quickly called 911. It turned out that the driver had gone into a diabetic shock and was in dire need of medical attention. Rick called for that attention. Rick is always ready to assist with whatever task needs completing, and we want to thank him for always looking out for the residents of our city who we all serve. On behalf of the entire City Council, it's a pleasure to name Rick the September 2012 Employee of the Month, and along with the certificate, Rick will receive a $100 Visa gift card, compliments of the Nevada Federal Credit Union, and a donation of $100 will be made to the charity of his choice by Superpawn. He has also received various other awards from the city and council to recognize his great work. And, of course, his name will appear on the street sign in front of City Hall for the next month. I'd like to ask Larry, please, to say a few words, and then, of course, we'll hear from Rick. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to first thank the council and the management of the city for providing this program. It's an excellent way to recognize the great employees we have, and we have a lot of great employees like Rick. Rick's one of those people that just go out and above the call of duty every day, provides a great service to our citizens. It really makes this the world-class city that we really are. And with that, we really thank Rick.
No, ma'am. I'd like to thank Larry and my supervisor, Jerry Walker, for nominating me. I would also like to thank the staff that I work with down in Streets. They're an awesome group, and all the accomplishments you heard are really the work that they do. I just kind of steer them in the right direction. And I've been in the public sector now for 30 years, 22 in the military and the last 8 here now. And I learned early on that your main job is to try to make a positive impact, try to be helpful to someone. So in the case of the 2 examples you brought, luckily we were able to be helpful to them. So those were good days. Thank you very much, Council and Mayor.
Thank you. We're so proud of you. Thank you for all that you do. And how about a picture over by, here's your sign. How about a picture over there? And Council, can we quickly run over there with Rick? Sure. Quickly? Okay. And then we'll go on to our next item. Okay. I know. Thank you and congratulations, Rick. Thanks, Rick, and congratulations. Wow. For our next item, I have the pleasure of recognizing one of our city's great young people with big smiles. Beautiful. I'd like to ask Ellie Smith to join us at the podium, please. Wow. Wow. Ellie is 16 years old and recently competed in the Miss Outstanding Teen pageant in Orlando, Florida, where she represented Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. Ellie is a great talent and sang an aria in Italian for the talent portion of the competition. She has sung the national anthem and God Bless America before millions of fans at NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball games. The Los Angeles Lakers, Utah Jazz, Chicago Bears, New York Mets, Los Angeles Dodgers, and Texas Rangers are among the professional teams who have invited her to sing. She also performed at the Andre Agassi Grand Slam benefit concert and has performed several times with the legendary Tony Bennett. Ellie's numerous credits include starring as Annie, oh, wonderful, in the musical of the same name at the Tuacahn Amphitheater in Utah, and playing Brigitte in The Sound of Music at the Utah Shakespeare Festival. Gosh, I'm sorry, I missed all of those. As you can see, she is very beautiful, not only outside, she is also beautiful inside. Talented young lady, but what we really want to recognize her for is her work in the local schools. Ellie created the award-winning anti-bullying campaign, Don't Let It Get to You, and she has presented the program to more than 60 schools and more than 30,000 students. I want to present Ellie with a proclamation that makes today Ellie Smith Day in the city of Las Vegas for everything she has done in the community. And I'd like Ellie to say a few words and tell us a little bit about her anti-bullying campaign. So this says, by authority given to me by the state, the laws of the state of Nevada and the charter of the city, I, Carolyn Goodman, mayor of the city, and our council hereby proclaim September 19th is Ellie Smith Day. So here you are. We'd love you to sing too, but oh my, please say a few words about your campaign and what you have done. I'll hold this so you can.
Oh, well, thank you. Sorry if I cough. I've been sick for the past week, but excuse me. I would just like to say really quickly, thank you so much, Mayor Goodman. Thank you so much, the rest of the city council staff. You know, the title of Miss Nevada's Outstanding Teen comes with the responsibility of service, and I am completely honored to serve my community in such a way with my anti-bullying campaign. And excuse me. I'm so sorry, but I am just so honored to be here, and I'm so happy to be a part of this amazing community. Thank you so much for having me today.
We're so proud of you. Congratulations. How about a picture with the group? Yes? Mom? Dad, come on up. Somebody's going to take your congratulations. Mayor Goodman. Okay. Are you here? Okay. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. We're so very proud. Thank you. We'll get you wedges. You can be taller, too. Congratulations. Goodness gracious. Okay, for our next item, we have a very special group of people who are really going the extra mile to help residents when they're in dire need. I'd like to invite the president of the Las Vegas Fire Foundation, Julie Gilday Schaefer, to join us at the podium. I believe she also brought along some longtime friends of the city with her, including our dear Julie Murray, who's everywhere with everybody doing all the time, and former Fire Chief Washington. Chief, you and Julie, also please join us. The mission of the Las Vegas Fire Foundation is to provide immediate gap financial assistance to those who've been adversely impacted by a fire. The charitable program provides financial assistance to help residents through a night or even a weekend until other social services can assist them. The program was established in 2003 by Chief Washington with support from Julie and our own Roy Lawson of the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. One Nevada Credit Union works with the charity to process and maintain Visa gift cards at no additional cost to the foundation. The gift cards are then distributed by the battalion chiefs, firefighters, and even Fire Public Information Officer Tim Szymanski. To date, the foundation has raised more than $175,000 to help residents. So thank you very much for your efforts, and I want to present this proclamation also naming today as Las Vegas Fire Foundation Day in the city, and I believe Julie would like to say a few words, and we always love to hear from her.
Thank you, Mayor Goodman.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and I'm happy to be here today to represent the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue Foundation. As Mayor Goodman mentioned, it was started in 2003 by the people standing beside me, Julie Murray, former Fire Chief David L. Washington, Benny Scott, and Roy Lawson, who's sitting in the audience today. And their vision is the outcome of our incredibly dedicated City of Las Vegas firefighters who were reaching into their pocket to provide assistance for people who had been impacted by fire or disaster. And this GAP help, which comes in the form of $20 Visa gift cards, they might get a single or multiples from the fire chief, or from the firemen, fire people, is a tremendous way to help provide them with that package of diapers, that overnight assistance before they can connect to these social programs here in our community. And so we want to not only thank them, but Robert L. Forbes, who was one of our former chair people and very instrumental and passionate about this program, as well as Fire Chief Myers and the incredible people in the City of Las Vegas. The other thing I want to mention is that with us today is our tremendous community partner, One Nevada, represented by Trudy McLean and Cindy Vela. If you'd please stand. And the other members of the board of the Las Vegas Fire and Rescue Foundation, if you would please stand. You're here in the audience. Thank you so much. And we've distributed over 3,000 cards in the community since 2006, impacting over 1,000 families. It's a tremendous service, and we're really happy that we can make this contribution to our community.
Wonderful. Just wonderful. Chief, did you want to say something? And Julie, a little something? Of course. He won't miss a moment.
Yeah, I'm kind of like your husband. I like to, Mike. No, honestly, we are pleased to have the opportunity to serve our citizens. It was something that, again, as Julie mentioned, the firefighters were always coming out of their pockets, so we designed a program that would relieve them of that, but yet help people in the community. We're proud of the city allowing us to do that.
It's an honor to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And here is the certificate. Congratulations, the proclamation. I will tell you, these ladies and these gentlemen do everything all the time. I don't know how they have time for their own personal lives because you service our city and our county so beautifully all the time. And the country. Thank you. Thank you. Our next item is in recognition of Hispanic Heritage Month. As many of you probably noticed on your way in, we had a wonderful student mariachi group performing in the lobby this morning. First, Councilwoman Tarkanian is going to recognize the efforts of community groups to raise scholarship funds, and then Councilman Coffin will present a proclamation to the Fiesta Parade organizers. Councilwoman, please.
This year, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are recognizing some very special groups: the National Latino Police Officers Association and the Southern Nevada Hispanic Employment Program Youth Council. Sharing similar goals, these two groups partner to support a scholarship program which empowers local students in higher education through leadership training, mentoring, cultural awareness, leadership, and business development. 3 years ago, they joined efforts and created an annual signature event, the Customs and Classics All Writing for Scholarships Car Show. This grassroots fundraiser closed the financial gap experienced with the economic downpour and has raised thousands of dollars to fund scholarships for local college students who otherwise would not have been able to pursue their dreams in higher education. Scholarships awarded to students of all ages and of all ethnic groups. CARS is possible through the support and partnership of many groups, businesses, and individuals, as well as partnerships with the City of Las Vegas through Councilman Barlow's Ward 5 and also Ward 1, which I represent. I have had the honor of being with this group since their inception, and I've seen it grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And last year we had Great Shade, which was not what we had the first year we started. I want to tell you, if anybody loves cars at all, because I'm not really a big car fan, but I go there and I am so impressed with how tremendously each of the individuals that owns the cars has revamped the cars, made it so shiny. In fact, I started to lean one time on a car and somebody grabbed me right away. No, no, no. They'll come and they'll get you if you do that. And also, they have delicious food. So when it comes around again next year, please be sure to go because I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The National Latino Police Officers Association's specific purposes are to eliminate prejudice and discrimination in the criminal justice system, particularly law enforcement, reduce community juvenile delinquency, and lessen citizen tension in predominantly minority communities. The group is proud to support its members and their families in furthering their education. These two groups assist in fulfilling a mission to empower our diverse citizens to become viable community leaders and contributors. The Youth Council's activities include, but are not limited to, career preparation, mentoring, leadership training, community service projects, and fundraising for scholarships to benefit local students of all ages and, as I said, of all ethnic groups. The Youth Council members hold monthly meetings. We were able to attend the culmination of one, Ricky Barlow and myself, and I got to tell you, it was something that was really peppy and kept you going the whole time. And they also host workforce development workshops, career mentoring, and job shadowing, serve as mentor buddies to younger, underserved children. The council establishes partnerships and executes scholarship fundraisers, community service projects, primarily for those underserved communities to include all ages. An example is the winter wear drives where they distribute to families clothes, families that are in need through the schools and community referrals. In addition, the members participate in a Secret Santa project by collecting and delivering Christmas gifts anonymously to less fortunate families, and they make gift bags for homeless shelters during the winter holidays. And in 2011, the Youth Council volunteered over 1,635 hours throughout the community with a focus to increase youth participation and remain engaged in education and career success with a pay-it-forward spirit. At this time, I would like to ask Melly Polito to come up to stage, please. And to introduce, Melly, to introduce the people that you brought with you today. Yes. And I'd like to say one last thing about that car show. I'm looking over here at Ellie, who's so beautiful and nice and sweet, and I'm thinking that I went to that car show, and I was her age when I saw a car that was there that I had ridden it on my first date. So made me think of that. Okay.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Mayor and council members for allowing us this humble experience and recognition. The Youth Council, it's only been in existence for 3.5 years. And so I am very proud to chair that Youth Council that I proudly state that my daughters founded 3 years ago in a spirit of paying it forward. I'd like to recognize that the Youth Council falls under the umbrella of the professional group of the Southern Nevada Hispanic Employment Program, which Minerva Navarrete is the president of, and it's all human resources managers and directors that have that same vision to empower Hispanics to be viable citizens. Under their leadership, we have pretty close to $700,000 in scholarship awarded since the scholarship program started. And I'm proud to say that the Youth Council, we were only able to get 2 youth here, our Secretary Vivian Martinez and Luis Perez here, because everybody else is in school. But we're proud, and we want your support. We want to develop good youth, and we want to continue to provide good leaders for you to be employable. We want to have them prepared for college and be able to be prepared for education in a good workplace. Thank you so much for this acknowledgement.
In great recognition of the Southern Nevada Hispanic Employment Program and the National Latino Police Officers Association for their commitment to the children and youth of Las Vegas, we, the mayor and members of the City Council, do hereby recognize both organizations on this date as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And I love these groups because they're so vibrant. I mean, you can be tired as anything and go to one of those things and you come out so energized. Thank you.
We look forward to it every year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations. Okay, for our next item, Councilwoman, don't go away so fast. This is yours too, is going to recognize a woman who has served our city so wonderfully these many years. Councilwoman, you are busy today.
Busy today. Did we want to continue that way or move this way? Okay, good morning, everyone. We have a lot of people to recognize, and we're so happy that we have so many people here today to join us. This morning, I am introducing to you a very special lady, Mrs. Lee Heenan. Before I bring her up here, let me tell you a little bit about her. Lee was born Letitia Heenan in Seattle, Washington. She moved to Las Vegas in 1956, which, by the way, was a little bit before the UNLV became UNLV, which makes her a city resident of over 56 years. While in Las Vegas, she attended UNLV, CCN, and later the college when it became CCSN. Lee has spent many, many years in Las Vegas garden clubs and rose societies. She is synonymous with these groups. It is her passion. She's moved through all possible ranks, from mere member to volunteer to master gardener to now judge. She is currently a member of the Las Vegas Valley Rose Society as a Rose Judge. She's a member of the National Council of Garden Clubs, a member of the Master Gardeners Program, and a volunteer at the Springs Preserve. She has donated over 5,200 hours to the Springs Preserve, and they are very grateful for all the help she gives. She also helps to maintain the Garden for the Blind and the Northwest Rose Garden in Lorenzi Park. She shared her passion and love of rose gardening through numerous lectures and demonstrations for the Pacific Southern District of the National Gardens Club. In 1973, Lee was appointed to the City of Las Vegas Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. Can you believe that? 1973. That's the year my husband came to start coaching at UNLV, a long time ago. And she served that advisory committee often as vice president. She retired last month, serving a grand total of 39 years. During Lee's tenure, she contributed her guidance and expertise as a commissioner towards the addition of 52 new parks and trailheads, more than 30 facilities, and countless programs offered, including the inception of Safe Key, the Park Ambassador Program, and the Corporate Challenge, just to name a few. As part of the Park Naming Subcommittee, she was instrumental in providing naming recommendations for many city parks and facilities we enjoy today. Commissioner Heenan believed and supported parks and recreation activities as being vitally important to establishing and maintaining a high quality of life in the Las Vegas community, ensuring the health of citizens, and contributing to our economic and environmental well-being. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome to this woman who has donated 39 years to the City of Las Vegas Parks and Recreation. Lee. Lee, and as you join us up at the podium, we'll have Karen and Margaret, her grandson Ryan. And is Billy Bastian here? And Billy.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service.
You've done so much. She is amazing. These are your helpers, right? Well, we're going to let them say a few words about you. I mean, you know what? You serve so well. We have people who do work that it's on a quiet level. We don't even realize it until something like this happens. And then we know there's someone like you that's just been such a wonderful giver to our city. You are welcome, and we're going to let you say a few words.
How you doing? Commissioner Lee Haney, a rose is a rose is a rose, and you've always been a rose for me. As the chairman of the Parks and Recreation Committee, it has been a pleasure to work with you since 2001, and being the chairman for so long and you being my vice chair. You've always taught me and always led me in the right direction in helping to recreate, because that's the Latin root of recreation in Las Vegas, and it is an honor and a pleasure to recognize you now.
Hi, Lee. I'm Billy Vashton. I was the past department director for the city of Las Vegas and retired a couple of years ago. But during my tenure of working for the city of Las Vegas in Parks and Recreation, I worked with Lee. For 25 years, I knew you and knew of all those things that were outlined by Councilman Tarkanian. I'd like to thank the mayor and members of the council for supporting the Parks and Recreation Commission, because we provide a tremendous amount of service time and advocacy for the Parks and Recreation spaces and places and activities within the community. So Lee, you deserve all that honor of that 39 years. And on behalf of the mayor and council, the city manager, the department director, Stephen Harson, Lonnie Zimmerman, who works so closely with the commission, and also the other commissioners, we'd like to give you just a small token so that you can remember and know how much we valued you. So we know you had a big heart for Parks and Recreation, so we want to give you a big, heavy heart because we think you deserve that. And then it has your name on there and some beautiful flowers, and then your recognition on the commission and the number of years. So Lee, thanks so much for being a part of the commission and giving so much to the community. We sure loved you during all that time that you served.
And also Lee, where's your heart? I didn't take it. I didn't take it. She's got it. He's holding it for you. I also want to say that we, the mayor, and the members of the Las Vegas City Council do hereby take great pride in proclaiming September 19th, 2012 as Lee Heenan Day. And I want you to notice that on her proclamation, what do you think we put? Roses. That's right. Thank you so much, Lee. Thank you. You want to say a few words?
I just want to thank all those that participated in helping make the city parks and recreation department such a big institution, that they have done so much for everybody and for their children. I enjoyed it, and of course, I have 6 children myself, so I know what you're going through if you're bringing your children to the parks and stuff. But we've enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. And for our next item, Councilman Bob Coffin is going to recognize a very well-known company that is making a difference through volunteerism.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, we all know the Golden Arches are in town, and we all do business, I suppose, at one time or another with the Golden Arches. But, you know, McDonald's pays back, and they have a extensive charitable arm, and they really do involve themselves in the community. This year, the Association of Owner-Operators are dedicating, can you believe it, 200 employees are going to come over to the Chuck Minker Center and the Rafael Rivera Community Center this Saturday morning and do a major cleanup, a true rehab job on these two public facilities for all of us. I'd like to call up Michael Farrow on behalf of Tom Arlt, the president of the Greater Las Vegas McDonald's Owner-Operator Association, to stand up here with us. Well, you've got some buddies with you. I've met them here, but I want you to bring them up too. You can introduce them while we're here. It's called their Community Service Day. It's their initiative, and it's something that they feel is important to give back to a community. Oh, they do that in many other ways too, by the way. There are over 155 McDonald's now in this valley. On behalf of the city of Las Vegas, I'd like to recognize the association's efforts by proclaiming September 22nd, this Saturday, as the Greater Las Vegas McDonald's Owner-Operator Association Community Service Day. Thank you for all you do. Fellas, come on up. And Michael, would you like to speak on behalf? Are you there? Okay, Bob, come on up. Say some words. You ready to go to work?
Oh, all the time. Thank you, Councilman. And it's been a pleasure working with your office. Thank you, rest of the council. That's even better words yet. That helps everything go.
And I know Mr. Arlt does, too.
And I've been at some restaurant called Oscars, and it's been delicious. So,
serve those next. Big next.
This is just the beginning of what we plan on doing for the next 12 months. Our goal is to donate over 4,000 hours to the city in different work, and we'll be working in different wards throughout the year, and we'll be doing this quarterly. And this is brought to us by the McDonald's operators of Las Vegas, and without their support, this really wouldn't happen. But it's just another example of how McDonald's is involved in the community. And I remember when I was started out at McDonald's in 1971 as a crew person working the front counter, I had the opportunity to meet the founder of McDonald's, Ray Kroc. And from the beginning, he always believed that we shouldn't give back, but we should be part of the community. And this is just another example of how McDonald's, and in particularly in Las Vegas, we are a part of the community. So it's our pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much for that eloquent statement. I wonder if we could all have a picture with you and the council. And here's the proclamation for you to hold in behalf of all of us. You be sure to present that to everybody.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's all get together, Your Honor.
We're scrunched.
All right.
We're coming.
I'm the short guy. I'll get in front of right here. Come on. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
I'll be seeing you there 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. We're not done here. And by the way, this is a wonderful hour. Those of you who might wonder, when does the council get about its business? It's been at its business for an hour. These things are extremely important for the spirit of our community. If we don't recognize our citizens for what they do, then what would they do? They would think maybe we don't care and we don't thank them, but we do. And continuing, because we're near the end of this, continuing our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, we had a wonderful parade here in town just a few days ago that started the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. You know, 2/3 of Ward 3 are Latino people. In fact, over 40% of the residents of Wards 1 and 5 are also Latino. Now, meaning that 1/3 of this county is Latino. So it's truly an integrated community because Latino people live everywhere. You can see them everywhere, too, usually selling something somewhere. You don't see them on the street corner begging. They're more likely trying to sell something. I think that I want to first of all say we've got to recognize the parade people and our organizers. I'd like to call up Sheila Macias, Anastasio Del Rey, and Rocio Ledesma. And we have a fourth person coming up here, too, do we? on behalf of all, we're going to accept a proclamation, which we have back here, on behalf of all the Hispanics residing in the city of Las Vegas. They represent the Fiesta Las Vegas Latino Parade and Festival Committee. By the way, those of you who don't know the history of this continent understand that Mexico gained its freedom from European colonial powers over 200 years ago. Each country south of our border celebrates it on a different day. Frequently they do, simply because the word traveled. Word traveled to Mexico first and then went down the continent. So you see many countries having a different day. But rather than saying one day, we just devote the entire month to it. So you understand why, because we have residents of 30 Latin countries here in this area. I think I'd like to have you say a couple of words on behalf of the committee. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Mayor and City Council. My name is Sheila Macias, and with me today is Anastasio del Real, Karina Herrera, and Luis Cabanillas. We are members of the Board of Directors of Fiesta Las Vegas Latino Parade and Festival Committee, and this is only our second year as an organization. We celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month, recognizing Hispanics by holding the Fiesta Las Vegas Latino Parade and Festival, a free event for the whole family. This past Saturday in downtown Las Vegas, thanks to the help of our participants, our vendors, our artists, our volunteers, and the City of Las Vegas staff, we were able to hold an event for close to 30,000 attendees and to come out and watch the parade and festival. The Fiesta Las Vegas Latino Parade and Festival Committee provides an opportunity for Hispanics in Southern Nevada to celebrate and share their colorful roots and customs. We aim to promote cultural pride. And for us, it is truly a privilege to bring to Las Vegas an event of this caliber, and it is an honor for us that the community has accepted us and embraced us. On behalf of our committee, we would like to thank Councilman Bob Coffin, the mayor, and the entire City Council for this proclamation, and accept this proclamation on behalf of Hispanics residing in the city of Las Vegas. Thank you.
Well done, Sheila. Well done. Thank you very much. May we all have a picture with you and the council? We'd love to be photographed with you. Can we all get together? Okay, let's see. Tell us when you can see everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And by the way, those of you who came in, you noticed there was music here starting around 8 o'clock. We were serenaded here. The hall was not very full, but the beginning of the redevelopment committee started at 8:30. And so we were serenaded by Mariachi Azteca, which organized and chaperoned by Priscilla Rocha and Andres Mendoza. I just want to read into the record the names of our musicians who sang here. Misael Torres, Kindy Partida, Jonathan Salmaron, Jessica Rodas, Selena Perez, and Zaira Piedra. One of they were all graduates except for one who is just still at the Academy in Las Vegas, but they're all wonderful musicians. So we thank them, and I think that our Channel 2 will broadcast some of their performance as the next week or two goes along. Your Honor, thank you very much.
And I had the honor Saturday to be on the 3rd Street stage with our consul, General Lemu, to celebrate Mexican Independence Day and Viva Las Vegas and Viva Mexico. And we're delighted that we have such a rich cultural diversity in our community. We congratulate you all and we thank you. And so for our final item, Councilman Bob Beers is going to recognize a television star. There are television stars besides the 6 of us? The 7? 1, 2, no, 6. We're missing Councilman Barlow. So, oh, is he truly? He's in New York, I understand. And I believe you are going to, oh, well, I'm just not going to do that. You're going to do it. Councilman Beers.
First, I would like to mention one of my favorite parts of Hispanic heritage. I am pure gringo, of course, but I got to say chocolate. Chocolate is a winner. Yep, they invented it. Armando Montalago, please come down to the podium. Today is, amongst other things, Armando Montalongo Day. Many of you know Armando from the A&E television show Flip This House, which he started in 2006. Unbeknownst to many of us, Armando has moved a pretty significant section of his business enterprises to Las Vegas, that portion that offers seminars for investors who want to buy a house, fix it up, and then resell it, which is the act of flipping. And this particular tract of his business enterprises is got about a $2 million annual impact on our economy, brings in about 5,000 students a year who come and learn these techniques and then go out into our community and start practicing them right here in Las Vegas. It's one of the things that's turning around our residential real estate situation here. So I would like to, on behalf of the council, proudly proclaim today Armando Montalongo Day. A few words from Armando, please.
Mayor, Council, thank you very, very much. I want to thank the City of Las Vegas, its leaders and its residents for this. 11 years ago, I tried to get a job as a pizza delivery boy, and they didn't hire me. And I won't say the name of the restaurant, but let's just say it had a domino effect on the rest of my life. And I never dreamed that I would be able to be receiving something like this. I think each and every one of you, I think the residents, we love working with the City of Las Vegas. I think our team who makes all this possible. Thank you very, very much. This means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We love having you here. Thank you. And we will just go right into our business session immediately. Immediately. No recess. If somebody will move this away. Thank you. Thank you. Sure. All right, we're going to continue right on into business. And I believe, Ms. Clerk, that starts us with agenda item 11. Okay, thank you very much. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items on the agenda. If anyone submitted a speaker card who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name. State your name for the record. And we will set the time at 1 minute.
My name is Anthony Hart. I live 123 Sir David. I want to say thank you, Mayor and Council. And I've been coming down here for 21 years, and I racked up quite a bit of history here, too. There's two statements that's been used worldwide. One of them is at the end of the day, and the other one is now under the bus. Those two is used throughout the entire world, just about every day, with all kinds of various government heads and everything. It's very, that under the bus is really going over big time. But thanks for the opportunity between you and the Cox Communication. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to come forward, please state your name and make sure this is in related to items on the agenda. All right, hearing none, we will move on to number 12, item agenda 12. Business items for possible action. Any items from the morning session that the council staff and/or applicant that wish to be stricken, tabled, withdrawn, or held in abeyance to future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Councilman Anthony.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 23, contract number 130031PH, Code for America Fellowship. Staff has requested this be held in abeyance till October 3rd, 2012. Item number 37, approve a new beer, wine, cooler, off-sale license, BM6 Inc., DBA Mojave Market, 3020 East Bonanza, Suite 150. Staff has asked this to be stricken. Item number 38, new redistricting gaming license, BM6 Inc., DBA Mojave Market, 3020 East Bonanza, Suite 150. Staff has asked this to be stricken. Item number 43, new massage establishment license and wedding chapel license, Irvington Properties, LLC, DBA Aruba Hotel and Spa, 1215 South Las Vegas Boulevard. Staff has asked this to be stricken. And item number 49, supplement number 7 to the grant and cooperative agreement, L05AC14882, between the City of Las Vegas and BLM to change the scope of the Boulder Plaza Park project. Staff has asked this to be obeyed till October 3rd, 2012, and that will be my motion.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote. Please post. Thank you very much. Motion carries. We'll move on to item number 13 for possible action to approve the minutes by reference to the regular City Council meeting of September 5th, 2012. Is there a motion to approve the minutes, Mayor Pro Tem?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote and please post. And we will move on to Thank you. Motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item 14. Agenda items 14 through 55, that is without 23, which is obeyed, 37, 38, which have been stricken, and 43, which has been stricken, and 49, which has been obeyed, on the consent agenda are considered to be routine, recommended for approval by the departments, and may be acted in one motion. Are there any other items the council wishes to bring forward? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion, Councilman.
I'll make a motion to do what you just said.
I like that. There's a motion. Please vote. Thank you. And please post. Thank you. Motion carries. We will now move on to item 56, correct?
Yep.
Discussion for possible action regarding an appeal of work card denial for Nicole Foster, DB, at Stewart Market, 2021 Stewart Avenue. This is in Ward 3. Councilman Coffin's ward. Is the appellant present? And please come forward. And Ms. Duddleston, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager. This is a work card denial for Ms. Nicole Foster. She and her employer from Stewart Market are both here. I had the pleasure of meeting with them yesterday. At this time, staff would like to recommend a work card for 1 year with an administrative review, site-specific at this location. Both the applicant and her employer are supportive of that motion.
Thank you. Would you like to address us, or are you fine just stepping forward and saying your name? Or
Nick Casto from
and
Stewart
your
Market.
relationship to the applicant?
I'm the manager of the store.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council? Hearing none, would Councilman Coffin, would you care to make a motion?
Thank you, Your Honor. The licensing department has given us a good feeling that this applicant will be okay in this job. And I think, though, on the other hand, we want to make sure we have a year to look at her. So I will move to approve the work card denial, excuse me, the appeal, and but ask that you come back in a year and for a review. All right.
Thank you, Councilman. There's a motion. Please vote. And please post. Motion carries. Good luck to you. Stay with it. We move on to item number 57, resolutions, R68-2012. An abeyance item, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution consenting to the undertaking City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, RDA, in connection with a commercial visual improvement program agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, RDA, and FC Ice House, LLC, owner and CVIP participant, located at 650 South Main, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the RDA. Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. This item is related to redevelopment agencies items 5 and 6, RA 12-2012, and in reference thereto, I would like to read the following statement. Jeff Fine is an ownership interest in the FC Ice House, LLC, which is the owner of the property known as the Ice House, and is the subject of redevelopment agencies items 5 and 6, as well as City Council item 57. My husband, Oscar Goodman, has had a business relationship with Jeff Fine's father, Mark Fine. Specifically, Oscar Goodman and Mark Fine are co-owners of the building near Charleston and Shadow Lane, known formerly as the Veterans Building. Jeff Fine does not have a business relationship with my husband, and my vote on this matter will not result in any financial benefit to Mark Fine, to my husband, or myself. After conferring with the city attorney, Brad Jervik, I have been advised to make this disclosure and further advised that I may vote on this matter. Mr. Arndt, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. This item is part of our Visual Improvement Program, or VIP program, where we give a matching grant to business owners locating in the redevelopment area or the downtown area, doing improvements to their storefronts and facades. The business owner is putting a considerable amount of money into the property known as the Ice House. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Any comments, questions from council? Hearing none, Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Mayor. It's not a question. It's really a declaration here. We have a wonderful location here that has had difficulty over the years. It's not jinxed. It's a historic area. You know, first ice house was built here in 1905. Wooden, burned down 2 years later. So they built a concrete ice house, which lasted for about 70 years, and it was or 80 years, and it was demolished. In fact, it took 2 weeks to demolish it. It was built so well, and it was a sentimental object for a lot of folks in this town. Those of us who grew up here remember it. So now the name has been carried on, and for good reason, because we hope that this time it'll bestow good luck on the Fine family, and that they do well in their venture. And it's really good for Main Street, because that side of the street needs this kind of development, and I know that it'll look real good when we're all done with it. So I now will move for approval, Your Honor.
And with your permission also to add, which was discussed this morning, that the new wire mesh overlay on signage will comply and will follow city staff's guidance on that.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Okay, there's a motion. Please vote. And please post. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item number 58. And recommending committee, bill eligible for adoption at this meeting. That's bill number 2012-42. Councilman Coffin, will you be doing this for Councilman Barlow? And do you wish to have the bill read? Okay. Okay. Councilman Mayor Pro Tem, do you wish to have the bill read?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2012-42, an ordinance adopting the most recent version of the minimum records retention schedules for local governments in Nevada and providing for other related matters.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to make a motion as
Yes,
well?
I'll make a motion to approve, Mayor.
Thank you very much. This is a motion. Please vote and please post. We will now, once that comes up, that motion carries. Let's move on to item 59. This item will be trailed to be heard after item 70 in the afternoon session. We will move on to, where's the stickum so I can do that? We will move on to item 60. Okay. Item 60, bill number 2012-46. Council, Mayor Pro Tem Anthony, do you wish to have the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Bill number 2012-46, an ordinance to annex the boundaries of the city, to extend the boundaries of the city, to particularly describe the land to be annexed, to make its inhabitants subject to the laws, obligations, and benefits of the city, and provide for other related matters.
Thank you. Councilman, do you care to make a motion?
Move for approval.
There's a motion. Please vote. And please post. That motion also carries. Thank you. Now on to agenda item 61. Items 61 through 63, bills 2012-20, 2012-44, and 2012-45 are eligible for adoption at a later meeting. We will move on to new bills. And the new bills, starting with number 64, items 64 and 65, bills number 2012-47, 2012-48 will be heard at the recommending committee on Tuesday, October 2nd, 2012. New bills 2012-47 and 2012-48 are assigned to council members Barlow, Anthony, and Coffin. We'll move on to item number 66. Yes, ma'am.
The attorney needs to read the new bills for the record, Mayor.
Please, would you read those new bills?
I'll be happy to, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Bill number 2012-47, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the registered taxable local government district bond, Series 2012, for the City of Las Vegas, Nevada, Special Improvement District number 1507, Jones Boulevard, Elkhorn Road to Horace Drive, and Grand Teton Drive, Maverick Street to Decatur Boulevard, to finance the construction of local improvements and providing for other matters relating thereto. And finally, Bill number 2012-48, an ordinance to amend the Unified Development Code to revise the standards that govern real estate signs, advertising commercial property, and provide for other related matters.
Thank you very much. As there is no closed session, we will, wow. Has this ever happened before? Wow.
The meeting was, the ceremonials were on the
Okay.
meeting.
We will, it was the meeting. Or do we want to go right?
Oh, we can't.
We can't, too much. Oh, and because it's posted. So we will recess until, what are we suggesting? 1 o'clock. We will be recessed till 1 o'clock. Thank you. If I can lasso Councilman Coffin, we're going to get started. There are four of us. Do you want to start from down there without a finger on the buzzer?
I can't tell if this
Huh? Come up out of the audience. Nice. All right, we will reconvene then. It's 1 o'clock. Actually, it is 1:01. Okay. And we will start with item number 67. Mayor Pro Tem Anthony.
Thank you, Mayor. Items 73 and 74, variance 45918 and MSP 45919, applicant CIMLL Las Vegas LLC, owner 220 North 4th Street, 3.73 acres at 206 and 221 North 3rd Street and 220 North 4th Street. The applicant has asked that those items be obeyed till October 17, 2012. Item number 76, SUP 45916, applicant TMX Finance, owner Tyler Family Trust, 3900 West Sahara Avenue. Applicant has asked that item be obeyed till October 17, 2012. And items 77 and 78, SUP 45948 and SDR 45945, applicant Shipping Containers LLC, owner 707 Fremont, LLC 707 Fremont. Applicant has asked that those two items be obeyed till October 17, 2012, and that will be my motion.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. There's a motion. Please vote. And please post.
I think we need to open a public meeting, Mayor. Just ask if anyone had any comments about those items.
This is not public. Sorry.
They're just being obeyed.
Just being obeyed.
No.
Okay. The motion carries. Thank you very much. Item 68, public hearing. Okay, for possible action to consider the report of expenses to recover costs for abatement of a nuisance located 3900 San Angelo Avenue for fees in the amount of $3,614.25 general fund, and assess a maximum of $19,650 in daily and failed inspection civil penalties for a total of $23,264.25. The property owner, trustee clerk, county treasurer, care of Tanea McKee and Eddie J. Cohen. This is in Ward 1, Councilwoman Tarkanian's ward. This is a public hearing, which I now declare open. Mr. Bowes.
Mayor, members of the City Council, the major cross streets to this property are Sahara and Valley View. This property is not in foreclosure. We opened this case on January 26th of this year, and on February 14th, we issued a notice and order to the property owner. As a result of the property owner's noncompliance, the city was required to perform abatement work on July 25th of this year. The abatement work consisted of removal of all refuge, waste, grass, high weeds, and dead vegetation, removal of a dead tree from the front yard, securing all open doors and windows, and removal of the dilapidated shed and fences. The city's out-of-pocket expenses in completing that work was $3,614.25. The total civil penalties and field inspection fees are $19,650 for a total of all costs and penalties of $23,264.25. As of August 27th of this year, the property is valued by Zillow at $69,886. Staff recommends that the City Council accept the report of expenditures and authorize the filing of a lien against the property to recover all costs and civil penalties.
Thank you, Mr. Bowes. Is the owner or representative present? Anyone wishing to be heard on this item? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion, Councilwoman Tarkanian?
I move to approve staff's recommendation.
Thank you very much. There's a motion. Please vote.
Could I ask a question also? And that is, if nobody does anything and this gets into disrepair, do we go back again and fix it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. There's a motion that was voted upon. Please post. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 69. Also, public hearing for possible action to consider a request for waiver and/or reduction of fees totaling $2,470.75 in out-of-pocket costs, $1,450 in failed inspection civil penalties, and $25,550 in daily civil penalties, for a total of $29,470.75, recorded against the property located at 5908 Kane Holly Street. The property owner is the Bank of New York Trust. This is in Ward 6, Councilman Ross. This is a public hearing which I declare open. Mr. Bowes.
Mayor and members of the City Council, I spoke with representatives of the Williamson Trust Company, who's a successor to the Bank of New York, who filed their request for the waiver and reduction. Spoke to their Florida office this morning. They advised me that Jay Martin from National Construction Management would appear before you this afternoon and represent this in this matter.
Had they called you that they would be late?
I called his office and left a message for him to contact me back. I was told that he would in a matter of moments, and I did not hear anything back from him.
Prepared to make a motion, Mayor.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard on this matter? All right. Hearing none. Councilman Ross?
My motion would be to deny agenda item number 69, Mayor.
Deny? Deny the request for a waiver. So you are then approving the recommendation of staff for full assessment?
Correct.
Okay. So everybody got that? All right, there's a motion. Please vote. Pretty flowers. And please post. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Bowes. And thank you, Councilman. Moving on to number 70, also public hearing regarding the advisability of granting a telecommunication service franchise to eCare Nevada, Inc. pursuant to the purpose, character, term, time, and conditions of the proposed franchise agreement. This is in regard to all wards. It's a public hearing, which I now declare open. And Council, I see that it is your turn.
We'll need to read number 59 in for that one, Mayor. 70's heard first.
So go to 59 after, correct?
Correct.
Take this one first. And Ms. Duddleson, you're not in reference to this, or are you?
If you have any questions, the applicant is here on this franchise agreement. For the record, Karen Duddleston, Business Licensing Manager, and they have accepted all the standard terms of the city's franchise agreement.
Okay. And sir, if you'd be good enough, welcome to state your name and who you're representing.
My name's John Clayton. I represent eCare. They're Vice President of Operations.
Wonderful. All right. Anything beyond from council that we need read into this?
No, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this item? All right, hearing none, I will close the public hearing. And no motion is required on this, is that correct? And we will now move on to our trailed item from the morning's portion of the agenda. That is item number 59, bill number 2012-43. And then this is now Mayor Pro Tem Anthony. Do you wish to have the bill read?
Yes, Mayor.
Please.
Thank you, Mayor. An ordinance granting to eCare Nevada, Inc., a corporation organized and existing under the laws of Nevada, a non-exclusive franchise for a telecommunications service within the corporate limits of the City of Las Vegas, subject to and in accordance with that certain franchise agreement entered into between the City of Las Vegas and eCare and providing for other related matters.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem?
Move for approval.
Thank you. There is a motion. Please vote. And please post. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item number 71. This is, okay, ZON 45952, this is rezoning, public hearing. Applicant owner, Res-NV1 LLC, for possible action on a request for a rezoning from a U, undeveloped, R, rural density residential, general plan designation 2, R-1, single-family residential on 3.73 acres located in the northeast corner of Ann Road and Maverick Street. This is in Ward 6, Councilman Ross. The Planning Commission approved and staff also approved. This is a public hearing which I declare open. Is the applicant present?
Yes, ma'am. Mayor and Councilman Mark Bangan with L.R. Nelson here representing our client, Res 1 Nevada. I'm here to answer any questions that you have, but it's a simple zone change that we're asking for.
Thank you very much. Anyone questions? Councilman Ross?
Thank you, Mayor, and just an explanation to the mayor and council.
Okay.
Oh.
Could you come up to the microphone, please, here, and state your name for the record?
My name is Vicki Korberg. I live directly behind the property at 6116 Camas Canyon Avenue, 89130.
Can we have the map back to show us where that is, please? Thank you.
It's directly adjacent to the property on the east side of it.
Okay. Can you show it on the map? The previous map was a little bigger, I think.
Can we have the overhead, please?
That one. There it is. Can you point to yours, please, the question? And can we blow that up, please? For those of us who are failing of sight. Okay. And you're on this diagram, you're on the south, correct? Outside the yellow.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Please proceed with your comments.
I'm on the east. Okay. In my neighborhood, number one, it's a development of 51 homes. 25 of those homes are in foreclosure. The market is very poor right now. I don't think there's a need to build more housing out there. Also, he has built up the land so high that when people walk behind my block wall, I can see their knees. That it towers over my property. It's also 17 feet from my pool that this was approved for. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Councilman?
Q-U-A-R.
Does she been on?
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, if we can
Ma'am.
proceed, ma'am, sir, please. Councilman Ross, would you?
Mrs. Corbett, this parcel was already zoned for these homes. What this applicant did is they didn't extend their entitlements. So this was already zoned for this project years ago. And so they let their entitlements lapse.
Well, this
So
is
it's already, and I'm going to make a couple of comments to things you said about the market and about flooding. If they're building up the lots, that is because the city of Las Vegas is making them do that because of drainage and flooding issues. They have to have a flood plan and a drainage plan on any development anywhere in the city of Las Vegas. The older areas, such as your neighborhood, which is an older area, and the elevation of your homes, they were built long before those requirements, I believe, were in place. So that's why they're building that up. Now, I don't know what the specific conditions of approval are. Mr. Scott, I don't believe you have them either about the wall, because I think there was some discussion about that wall several years ago when this was approved for this project. Do you have that information, sir? Because I think there was some discussion with the neighbors about the height of that wall and raising that wall because of that issue. And Brian, I don't know if you can find it quick enough or not. Flan, do you remember? Mr. Fagg, I'm sorry.
I don't have that information relative to the wall here in my backup information when the project was first approved in 2006. In terms of the wall itself, though, it will have to conform to City of Las Vegas standards relative to the wall height. And then obviously, as has already been pointed out, there are some drainage issues that need to be met on this property so that it doesn't drain to adjacent properties. At this point in time, you're only considering the rezoning of the property. The tentative map and the wall would come in at a later point in time.
Thank you, Mr. Fagg. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing him to answer that question. So, Mrs. Corbett, I hope that answers, at least addresses that issue. Now, I want to address the other issue. You'll have an opportunity to come speak on this item again, and when that time when they come in for a site plan review, you'll have an opportunity to talk about that, and we can place those requirements on the builder in regards to raising that wall. And of course, everything's got to be built to city standards. That's not a big issue here. A couple of things about the foreclosures and the market right now. I recognize that many areas, we do as a city council and the mayor recognize many parts of the city of Las Vegas are in a depressed zone because of so many foreclosures. Home builders are building homes again because it's easier for people to buy a brand new home than it is to buy a foreclosure or a short sale. The existing inventory is so small right now that, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think the existing inventory supply is only about a month of available existing inventory of homes. You may know more than I do. Do you have any idea? So that's not the case. Home builders are back building homes again, or they wouldn't be here to get this zone back to the way it used to be. I will have them address your issues and your concerns for your property when the time comes for them to come back with a site plan. With that, Mayor, I would move to follow staff and Planning Commission's recommendation for approval.
All right, there are some questions down here with your permission, Councilman. Councilwoman Tarkanian, and then
I just wanted to say that, and I don't know if I would be here when it comes back, but I just wanted to ask the councilman to please watch out on that, because, you know, we're in an older part of town, and it wasn't because of any flood that some of the lands were built up very high, so that you have it very high on one side, very low on another side, and then after it's done, there's nothing much you can do about it, and it's really a difficult thing to change. So I don't know the flooding situation in your area. I just wanted to mention that, though. We do have places in the city where it was not a flood consideration where that was done.
Thank you. Councilman Coffin?
His back door will be equal to my second story. The back door on a single-story home will be even to my second story on my home.
I think Councilman Ross has invited you back on this. I'm sure you'll be notified when that time comes, addressing wall height. Councilman Coffin?
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. It is related to that, the height, and that is, I am curious why the lots are, I don't know if they're all that high above the grade. I see what looks like two different grades on the same street. Looking at one of the photos there, it's not the one I see, looks like two different grades on, is it a different grade on one side of the cul-de-sac versus the other? Sir?
You know, I'm not sure how it was graded originally. I know that they had gone out there and they had graded it. They had gotten to the point where they were ready to record the final map. And then the developer went bankrupt, and the property went back to the bank, and now we're coming back for the zoning to try and get somebody else in there to actually develop it.
Well, I'm just questioning,
But
is
I'm
it
not
that,
sure
is
how
it
it was
that
graded.
hard to lower the grade on that?
It all depends on what the flood, base flood elevation is for the streets and where the elevations for the land or for the pads have to be. If it can be lowered, I mean, we're not opposed to lowering the site. We just don't know what they are at this point, and I can't commit to anything because I don't
Right, okay.
have
Well,
the
it's good that you have an open mind on that, so that
Yes.
when this comes again before, and I don't know if it has to go back before the Planning Commission. Would you say, Councilman Ross, if I could ask the question across you, ma'am, if in fact the whole process has to start once maps are discussed?
And if I could answer that through the mayor, yes, Councilman. They
So
still have to
therefore-
come back with a site plan. They still have to come back before it gets mapped, Mr. Fagg, am I correct? This is a zoning change only.
Right, and so therefore, really, the question, reducing the grade is not an expensive proposition to ask someone, unless the flood maps require it, and then there's just no choice. And then you're talking about walls, as your councilman has said he wants to work with you on that.
Meetings that He wanted to build 4,000 square foot, two-story homes there. Is that still the plan?
I'm sorry, Mayor, we're going beyond the actual agenda. That will come back on the
Okay.
site development plan.
The
review.
grading is very high. It's very high.
Thank you. The staff has approved the zoning change, period. And that's what I think we're dealing with. But we're in public hearing. Is there anybody else from the public who wishes to speak on this item? Please come forward. Okay, hearing none, we do have a motion. Is there anything, Mr. Pag, you wish to add to this conversation?
Mayor, just to clarify, the applicant may not need to come back for a site plan if the proposed mapping of the subdivision is in conformance with all city zoning requirements. They will have to come back for a tentative map, and that does go to Planning Commission, so that there is that public hearing that's required for the tentative map at the very least.
But regarding the height of the wall, in reference to her comments and questions, it is possible then it stops at planning and doesn't get back to us?
If it is in conformance with all of city code requirements, if they need a variance for the wall or anything along those lines, then there would be a public hearing required.
Just so as you go on, I know you're going to make comment, but there is a motion pending there.
Yes, ma'am, there is. If you just, Flynn, I want this to come back. I've made commitments to the other neighborhood to the east of this project as well, years ago when we first went through this round, to get this cul-de-sac built. And I want to make it very clear for the audience and whoever's watching at home, this is only a zone change from undeveloped to an R1 designation, which is absolutely compatible with that area. That's why staff has given it a green light. It has gone to the Planning Commission. But Flynn, I do want this to come back because I do want to protect those homes to the north and to the east of this project, so that if we have to have them raise the wall, they're going to need to raise the wall. Ms. Corbett reminded me, too, of the two-story issue that I remember distinctly talking with the developer on this item. So that's going to be an issue and that needs to come back to this council as well.
We'll note that in the minutes then.
Could I just ask, then that means that you were asking Flynn to not have any administrative decisions made, that it will come back in any case, no matter what?
Through the mayor, councilman, most likely any developer now, this is bank-owned now, you're just trying to get it rezoned so we can find a developer. Most likely a developer is going to come in and see me anyway, long before it even gets to that phase, which I'll have this discussion with them as well.
Thank you. There's a motion on the floor, and so please vote if you haven't already.
And I guess you've told the lady that was here that this is only on
The
zoning, only on the zoning, not on anything else that you were questioning.
Right.
And it's only going from rural to, thank you.
Okay, and please post. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We will move on to item 72, ZON 45966, rezoning, also public hearing. Applicant owner Lonnie Watson for possible action on a request for rezoning from an RE residence estates to a C1 limited commercial on .89 acres at the southeast corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Madison Avenue. This is in Ward 5, Councilman Barlow's ward, and Planning Commission and staff both recommend approval. So this is a public hearing, which I declare open. Is the applicant or representative present?
Terry Carter, 1825 Avocado, Silver State Surveying, representing the applicant.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to be heard on this item, please come forward. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing. And Mayor Pro Tem, you've been asked on behalf of Councilman Barlow.
Yes, ma'am. My motion is to follow Planning Commission and staff's recommendation for approval.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote. And please post. That motion carries. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Items 73 and 74 have been obeyed until the 17th of October. Is that correct? Item 75, RQR 46226, required review. This is public hearing. Applicant, Clear Channel Outdoor, Inc., owner, City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency, for possible action or required review of an approval special use permit, U0068-86, for a 40-foot tall, 14-foot by 48-foot off-premise sign billboard at 500 South Las Vegas Boulevard. This is in Councilman Coffin's Ward 3. Staff recommends denial. This is a public hearing which I declare open. Is the applicant or representative present?
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the council. Rod Carter on behalf of Clear Channel Outdoor, 2880 Mead Avenue. We concur with the if approved conditions and respectfully ask that this move forward. I'm here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, this is a public hearing which I declare open. So if anybody has any comments here, please come forward. And Mr. Fack, could you explain to us why staff recommends denial?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. Staff has recommended denial of this request as it's located within the Scenic Byway Overlay, and the Scenic Byway Overlay does not permit billboards. We're in jeopardy of losing federal financing or federal grants, if we don't maintain the standards of the Scenic Byway. However, with our recommendation of denial, we have placed a condition, condition number 1, in the if approved conditions, which states that essentially the billboard needs to have some type of an amortization schedule as we enter into a development agreement for the property. So that way we'll have a schedule for the removal of the billboard once the property begins its redevelopment process. So we're comfortable with that condition, and we can support that.
And how long does that condition apply? I mean, how, would that be 5 years, 3 years? Is that going to, what is the planned redevelopment potential?
I don't think we can answer when the property is going to redevelop at this point in time. The city is in an exclusive negotiating agreement with the developer for the site at this point, but we haven't entered into a development agreement yet. The condition reads that any disposition and development agreement approved for the property by the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency shall include an amortization schedule for the removal of the off-premise sign. We're comfortable with that language and establishing a schedule upon the approval of a development agreement.
And that would be in the written agreement, those
Correct.
restrictions. All right, anyone wishing? I think I asked. So I'll close the public hearing. Councilman Coffin.
Thank you, Mayor. I am going to move for approval with the condition as stated by the head of planning. While I think the rent is low, probably a little too low, and it is one of those things that is probably okay, and simply because this is on a month-to-month basis. And essentially, we can cancel this lease at any time. And if you'll recall, a few months ago, we did enter into an exclusive negotiating agreement with an organization to help put a deal together to unify. If we had the map up there, the plat, you will recall, if you'll please put the map back up, that was there. You'll see that this is across the street on the same side of the boulevard as the Fifth Street School. There are 2 properties owned by the Redevelopment Authority out of 4. So the ENA was put in place to try to unify them into one big piece that could then be developed. And at that point, we would then be able to terminate the sign agreement. So I think it makes sense to get a little cash now, and we can end it when we choose, if we so choose.
Great.
So for that reason, I'm willing to now move for approval with that condition of the amortization as outlined by planning.
And
It's
you
an agreement,
approve?
I think, from the applicant.
Yeah, absolutely, Your Honor. This was specifically structured this way with the RDA to be on a 30-day termination notice at any time, and we understand that and are comfortable, and thank you.
Great. Thank you. There's a motion, please vote. And please post. Thank you. That motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 76 has been obeyed to October 17th. And items 77 and 78, we're on to those now? Okay. They have been obeyed as well. Also same date, October 17th. All right, and now on to agenda item number 79. SNC 45758, street name change, public hearing. Applicant owner, City of Las Vegas, for possible action on a request for street name change from Chef Andre Rojas Place to Stanley W. Cooper Place. This is in Ward 3, Councilman Coffins. Planning Commission and staff recommend approval. This is a public hearing. I declare it open. And is the applicant or representative present?
Yes, I am. I'm Chris Hoyt. I'm the U.S. Marshal. Good afternoon, Mayor and City
Morning.
Council.
Good afternoon.
We reside at 333 Las Vegas Boulevard South at the Lloyd George Federal Building. And I'm coming on behalf of the U.S. Marshal Service and the men and women of our court security officers to recommend the renaming and the approval of the name change of Chef Andre Roche to Stanley Cooper Street to honor and to remember one of our fallen officers who passed away in January 4th, 2010, forgive me.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to be speaking on this, please come forward. Question, Councilman Ross?
Whose idea was this? Because I think this is brilliant, and I can't think of a better way to recognize Stanley Cooper and the U.S. Marshal Service in a better way. I think this is phenomenal. So did you guys think of this?
Well,
I'm sorry, through the mayor, of course. Sorry, Chris, didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Well, no, actually, it was pretty much a community approach, but it was actually spearheaded by one of our deputies, Deputy Supervisory Deputy Tom Hall, as well as a member of the City Council, Chief Councilman Coffin, and his staff.
The big grin on his face, I see.
Yes, they graciously helped to spearhead this.
Felipe Ortiz, Your Honor, through Mayor, to Councilman Ross. Felipe, our aide, our liaison, of course, who's well connected with and was a former employee of the federal government, brought the suggestion in. The request came through here from the staff to Felipe to me, and I sent you all a letter on June 7th asking for your support of this. So it's gone through all the the long punch list to change the name of a street, requiring a lot of cooperation. Chef Andre is hoping, he's supportive, and we hope to have him there at the name change ceremony. I know you're going to be there, Your Honor, and I'll be there, and every member of the council is welcome to be there if we approve this.
Well, if I may again, Mayor, Councilman and Felipe, I know you're out in the audience, and Marshal, this is great to recognize Stanley Cooper and the men and women in the Marshal Service. I just think this is a great idea, and good job to all of you for doing this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Coffin, I've closed
One
public
last,
hearing.
a couple of last words, and that is thank you, Chris. Thank you very much to you and the marshals. I think that that was a horrible day, and it's hard to believe almost 2 years have passed since Stan was shot down, and, you know, trying to save the lives of the people, and he did, obviously, since no one else passed because of this exchange of gunfire. But he was a retired Metro officer, too, so he was ducking bullets for many, many years before he went to work for the marshals. So I guess we have a lucky thing in a sense. We can honor him in the place where he died in the service of the people of Las Vegas. So for that, we're eternally grateful to he and the other members of the Marshal Service who survived. So I now move for approval of SNC 45758.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote. Please post. Motion carries, and I'm sure his family will be deeply touched. This is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
And we are on to item agenda number 80. I would instruct the city clerk to set the public hearing dates and appeals from the City Planning Commission meetings and dangerous buildings or nuisance litter abatements. Thank you. And now we move on to citizen participation, item number 81. Citizen participation, public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council. No subject may be acted upon by the City Council unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited, and we will set the timer at 3 minutes, please. Anyone wishing to come forward, please do so now at this time and state your name. Hearing none, we will move on to number 8. Oh, excuse me. Please come forward and state your name. Okay. Thank you very much, appreciate it. We're still 4, we're good. Thank you, Councilman. Councilman said he had to leave.
Oh, no.
There's a split vote here. Sorry. We are in the public portion. Please go ahead, state your name, and you please start the timer.
LaMonica Harris, Lord God on this earth. Hello, Mayor and
Hello.
councils. I come to say that I wrote some things in the paper, and I'm here to claim a business for the city of Las Vegas that Jesus has given me. And I will be sure to take great care of the people in the community. I will go to different schools for the elementary and high school students, speaking about staying focused for their future, being positive, and I will tell them to care for one another. I also want to be a mentor for a child and a teenager. Next, I want to be there for the senior citizens, enjoying and conversation with them to see what their needs are. Also, I would give to the poor and needy by giving to different organizations throughout the city of Las Vegas. Now that the Lord gave me my mind and my body back, I want to touch those that sick, diseased, mentally disabled. If possible, I also want to go to the hospitals and also the hospice for healing. I will encourage people that's down and out and touched on those as wheelchairs and using the walkers may one day able to walk on their own. And right now, I'll just say that. I didn't say anything about was you going to say something? Oh, I didn't say anything about, I just said about the people, but I didn't say anything about the community. So.
Well, there are so many social services that would love you to volunteer. I'd highly recommend that you choose one that you favor and go volunteer with them. You are a very warm and giving person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just saying this because it's coming from the Lord and I'm supposed to say it, so.
Wonderful.
But thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda? We will move on to item number 82. And council member recognition. Comments made by individual city council members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the city unless that subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. Starting to my immediate left, Councilwoman Tarkanian, do you have any announcements or recognitions, please?
Yes, I do. This weekend, Saturday, September 22nd, a new secondhand children's store called Tiny Wardrobes will be opening in Ward 1 at 6360 West Sahara. The store hours are between 10 and 6, and for the grand opening of this store on Saturday, they will have a bounce house, characters from the television show Yo Gabba Gabba, free hot dogs, cotton candy, and popcorn, and also raffle drawings for prizes throughout the day. I will be there between 1 and 2 p.m. for the official ribbon cutting. I'm asking everybody to come out, please, and join us. I think they'll have a fun time, and it's a different kind of secondhand store. I am so glad you asked that, because as someone who used to be very close to educating young children, I thought I knew all the programs. This is a new program. I haven't seen it. But evidently, Gabba Gabba's a big thing right now. So, and then I would also like to say, in recognition of Councilman Beers, who this morning enlivened our meeting by introducing the thought with a snarl that it's International Talk Like a Pirate Day. I just want to say how correct he was, because Las Vegas is an international travel destination, and because it is the International Talk Like a Pirate Day, and because it's the 10th anniversary of that day. So.
And do you have a sample of how you talk like a pirate?
No, I'll leave that to Councilman Beers.
Okay. So, excuse me, gentlemen to my right, because this is a great segue into this wonderful councilman's address this morning. It's yours, Councilman Beers.
Oh, hi, me beauty. Thanks for running such a smartly meeting. The only thing I can add to Councilwoman Tarkanian is that this very afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Summerlin Library, you can bring all your lads and lassies out for proper speech lessons and other pirate language activities. So if you have nothing to do with your lads and lassies this afternoon, I highly recommend the Summerlin Library. Free guitar class again this Saturday at the Sahara West Library at noon for you beginner 6-string pluckers. This is actually a 6-stringed guitar, not a 4 or 5-string banjo. Also, it is presidential campaign time, and although we are nonpartisan, there's long been a musical component to presidential campaigns, and this weekend at our very own Winchester Cultural Center, we will have the musical arts singers who've been around the Valley for many years will be performing a Songs of Our Politics, a survey of over 200 years of presidential campaign tunes. I presume some for and some against, some for that guy, some for that guy, but it should be fun. Those tickets are $10 if you get them now, $12 if you wait till the day of the event, and that is going to be at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Also on a musical theme, I personally will be at the Federal Courthouse on Friday at noon, another program of the City of Las Vegas Cultural Affairs Center and Judge George. The Sweet Potatoes, who are on your screens right now if you're watching at home, will be performing. They're a singer-songwriter acoustic group, not quite bluegrass, not quite country, not quite folk. It's kind of a new genre called Americana, and it should be pretty good stuff. That'll be at noon, no charge. It's in the jury selection room at the Federal Courthouse. And then I can't let the opportunity pass without noting that October is right around the corner, and right around the corner from October is the Oktoberfest, which will feature lots of beers. That's why I had to mention it. That will be at the Fifth Street School, once again, a program of the Cultural Affairs Division of the City of Las Vegas. That's all I have, me beauty.
You are enlightening to us all. I'm speechless. I mean, so much so that I am really speechless. Mayor Pro Tem, please.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Since there is no such thing as Greek pirates, I'm going to announce my last item without the Greek slang. This weekend is the 40th annual Greek Food Festival. It's going to be held Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 21, 22, 23 at the St. John the Baptist Greek Orthodox Church, located on the corner of El Camino and Hacienda. So come out and be Greek for a day, or if you want to come out all 3 days, you can be Greek for 3 days. So the actual time of the event is Friday from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., Sunday noon to 10. There'll be lots of traditional Greek food, Greek beer, wine, a lot of Greek dancing, baklava, Greek pastries. It's an absolutely wonderful event to bring your family to, your kids. It's $7 for adults to get in. If your children are 12 and under, they get in for free, and all active duty military and their families also get in free. And if we are actually kicking the event off on Friday, the 21st, at Tivoli Village at 2 o'clock, we're going to begin a 26-mile marathon race, which is traditionally how you kick off a Greek event. It will start at Tivoli Village at 2 o'clock, and runners will run 26 miles. We will end up at the church at 7 p.m. The mayor will be there to announce the lighting of the final torch, and the festival actually starts at 3 p.m., but we have the torch lighting at 7 p.m. So please come on out. It's a great event on church grounds. It's great for the family, and I guarantee you will have a lot of fun. Thank you.
Do we bring our Windex?
You know, My Big Fat Greek Wedding has a segment in there about Windex, and nobody knows where that came from, so.
And what is the appropriate, I know what's umpa or opa?
You can yell, after 2 or 3 oozos, you can yell opa.
You know, whatever you want.
After 2 or 3, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I see something
Just real
coming.
quick, I wanted to invite you to join Councilman Ross and myself as we cheer Councilman Anthony over the finish line of the marathon. That will be Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock.
Oh, my goodness. We are a joyful group up here. All right, Councilman Ross.
I have so much fun here. Shiver me timbers, Councilman. I want to jump in on that as well. Well, once again, I have to say it again, shiver me timbers, it's going to be movie night at the Centennial Hills Amphitheater. September 28th at 7:30 p.m. We are going to be watching the movie The Lorax, and guess what? It is free. We have partnered with our community partner Sam's Club. They will be out there with providing some food for purchase. I think I'll be handing out some free popcorn. School is back in session. It's a wonderful opportunity to come out Friday night with your kids. And gentlemen, it's a cheap date night. So plan on coming out to the Centennial Hills Amphitheater for Movie in the Park September 28th. Now, on a more important note, Mayor and council members, of course, we continue our partnership with Nevada Child Seekers. We do have a missing juvenile. This young man's name is Christian Magana. He is 16 years old. He's 5'8" and weighs 125 pounds. He has brown eyes, black hair. He is Hispanic. He was born September 8, 1996. He was last seen September 13th, and he was last seen in the area of Ann and Tenaya out in my neck of the woods. He was also last seen wearing plaid shorts and a black shirt. He may be carrying a black backpack with personal belongings. I know that there's a great big youth network out in the Northwest, so it shouldn't be difficult locating this young man. So if anyone sees him, please contact Nevada Child Seekers 458-7009 or the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at 8283-111.
Was he enrolled in high school at any one?
That information I do not have, but I would assume he was.
Okay. Hope you'll come forward, Christian, wherever you are. A lot of people are looking for you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anyway, thank you all. And if there is anything else, anybody else want to say anything, do anything? Well, we are adjourned then. Thank you all very much.